Hey students, I hope everybody is doing well and understanding the concepts in your grammar book and everything. I do appreciate the comments that you've been making on the RenWeb thread, telling me that you're done or you finished the pages. That's always good, making sure you guys are working and everything. In this video, I'm just going to kind of explain some of the review exercises that were assigned for today. I'm looking specifically at page 233. So you might want to pause the video, take a moment to get your grammar book out so that you are ready and you're just kind of following along. You might want to get some notebook paper so you can take some notes. I've got some stuff on the whiteboard here that I'm going to show you, but I'm just going to kind of take it one exercise at a time, exercise C, D, and E on that page, and just give you some tips. Maybe you want to just pause the video and do the exercises one at a time, whichever way you want to do it. Just make sure you can understand what I'm talking about. For the first exercise, exercise C, I'm looking in your book at page 233. It says, identify the italicized word as adjective or adverb. So let me show you this real quick. Exercise C, adjective or adverb. Those are the only two options that you're going to put in the blank, and just kind of some tips to help you remember what is the difference between an adjective and an adverb. Adjectives describe nouns and pronouns, adverbs, verbs, adjectives, and other adverbs. So if you remember, adjectives come next to nouns. So if you're reading in the sentence and it's got the big bear, okay, big is next to bear, which is a noun, and so it would be an adjective. Some tips for adverbs. You know, they usually end in ly, magnificently, beautifully, wonderfully. Okay, you just kind of think of words like that. If it ends in ly, most likely it's an adverb. Time words are adverbs. So now, later, tomorrow, today, just single words like that would be adverbs. And then, of course, if it comes next to a verb, it's usually going to be an adverb. So if it doesn't end in ly, you don't know that it's a time word, but it does come next to a verb, it's probably going to be an adverb in that context. Let me look at just the first one with you. I'm not going to run through the exercise, but if you're looking at exercise C, number 1 says, yesterday, Lexi and I went to visit our grandmother in the hospital. The word that's italicized is yesterday, and if I'm just looking at my tips, I know that it's a time word. When did it happen? Yesterday, and so adverb would be the correct answer. So if you want to pause the video and do exercise C now, you can. Otherwise, I'm going to keep going. Exercise D is where you have to figure out, is it a preposition or an adverb? Okay, so you did a worksheet on this this week, I guess it was. But so this should kind of be just more review of that. Just two options: is it a preposition or is it an adverb? Prepositions have objects. They're called the object of the preposition, so they're going to have a noun next to it, right after it, with maybe an adjective in there as well. Adverbs do not have nouns. They do not have an object that it is working with. I'll do the first one in exercise D with you. Number 1 says, we turned off the interstate highway onto a winding country road. Off is the word you're looking at, and just ask the question, off what? Do we have an object? Yes, off the interstate highway, making that one a preposition. So just kind of work through that exercise, following kind of that pattern. Okay, you can pause the video right now, or I'm going to keep going looking at exercise E, which is definitely the most complicated, definitely have the most that you have to work with, but just when you have a giant exercise like this, try to simplify it as much as possible. Work on the things that you know you can do. If you are really good at finding your subjects and verbs, that's always a good step to start with. That way, your subjects are going to be nouns, and if you can find your verbs, you already know what that is in the sentence. Let me read the first sentence for you. I'm looking at exercise E in your book. It says, Arlington National Cemetery is located in Arlington, Virginia, across the Potomac River from Washington, D.C. Okay, if I know what my subject and verb is, okay, Arlington National Cemetery, that whole thing is just one thing, that's my subject, is located. That's the verb. So you can already group those two together. Got the subject, got the verb. The subject is, of course, a noun. So you can go ahead and put that. Sorry, that didn't really show up. Oh, none of my markers are showing up. The subject is a noun, okay? So then after you've kind of found your subject and verbs, kind of go through and find the easy words that you know you can pull out of the sentence. Like a, an, and the, those are articles. And if you remember from the adjective unit, they are always adjectives. So look in the sentence and see if you have any of those words, a, an, or the. You see any? There is one actually, there's the word the, so you don't have to worry about any, go ahead and put adjective above that word. If you're really good at finding your prepositions, okay? I believe it's on page 217 that has a list of your prepositions, and so you can kind of just run through the sentence and find all the prepositions. Remember, they're two-letter words, some that we use often. There are actually 3 in that sentence that are prepositions. You've got the word in Arlington, you see that? You've got the word across, that's on your list. I'm looking at your book. And you've got the word from Washington, D.C. If you're looking at your book, hopefully you're following along with me a little bit. So now I've already got, if you found your subject and verb, and you found your prepositions and your adjectives, your articles, then you really only got just 3 words left, 3 things left. Arlington, Virginia, Potomac River, and Washington, D.C. Okay, it's kind of like a process of elimination. You're done with these words, you can get rid of them and just see what you have left. That's kind of the last thing that I have right here. They're things. Hopefully you know what nouns are. They're people, places, things, and ideas. All of those words that are left, Arlington, Virginia, Potomac River, Washington, D.C., they're all places. So they're all nouns. And that's the rest of the sentence, and you're done with it. Just kind of, run through those. Maybe go through every exercise and find all the articles. Maybe go through all the exercises and find all the prepositions or all the verbs that you know are verbs. And then you can kind of come back and just see what you have left. When you have a large exercise like this where you have to find every word and what is it doing, it's best, don't take it all at one time. Just take it one word at a time, one section at a time. Just try to simplify it for yourself. Let me know if you have questions in the comments. You can email me or post on the thread. Just let me know if it's still confusing or what other tips that things that you may need. All right. See y'all later.